Hey, this is David Sickles, editor of Tire Review, and welcome to the Tire Review AI Insights podcast. It's an analysis of the most impactful tire industry trends that could impact your bottom line, and it was built using AI that I have personally developed and trained. Now, we're analyzing context and trends surrounding the stories we publish at a scale that used to not be possible, and our AI hosts have distilled those insights into a format that will ultimately make you more money. Would love to know what you think. Enjoy.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're your shortcut to getting genuinely well-informed, cutting through all that noise out there. We take a whole stack of sources, pull out the most important bits, and we'll deliver them with maybe a little humor to keep you listening. And today, this deep dive is really built just for you, especially if you're navigating the dynamic world of the tire industry. We're focusing on actionable insights, things that can directly impact your business.
That's exactly right. We've gone through Tire Review's July Insights, specifically articles from July 14th to the 31st. And our mission here really is to prioritize the stuff that offers the biggest revenue opportunity for you, the tire dealer. We're pulling out key takeaways and hopefully highlighting some specific actions you can take pretty much right away.
Okay, let's unpack this then. Sounds like a real treasure trove of information from Tire Review, all tiered for importance, specifically for you, the dealer, ready to dive into what truly matters for your business. Let's start with something that hits the bottom line directly. Service sales and efficiency. I heard something about a staggering amount of wasted money, a huge opportunity. What's the story there?
Yeah, the number is pretty shocking. $18.6 billion annually. That's what Firestone estimates U.S. drivers are collectively wasting just because of underinflated tires.
Wow, $18.6 billion. That's hard to even picture. How is that happening? And what's the angle for a local shop?
Well, it boils down to this. Almost half of the cars serviced in the U.S., 42% are running on underinflated tires. And not just by a little bit. Often it's around 13 PSI, below what's recommended. This isn't just, a safety thing, though it is that too. It seriously increases rolling resistance, which means wasting fuel. We're talking an incredible 4.5 billion extra gallons of gasoline burnt each year, and the Coiro emissions that go with it. Melissa Valio, over at Bridgestone Retail Operations, put it nicely. She said, paying attention to your tires saves money, helps the planet, and keeps you safer on the road. Pretty straightforward.
So the opportunity for dealers, it seems huge. What's the practical first step? How can a dealer start tapping into that wasted money?
It's actually quite simple, but the impact is potentially massive. Encourage monthly tire pressure checks. Offer free inflation checks, free air top-offs. Position your shop as the easy place to get this done. It builds trust, gets people in the door, and tackles a really common, costly problem. And some states are worse than others. D.C., Hawaii, California. They have the highest rates of underinflation, so the need is definitely out there.
That's smart. Turning a common problem into a clear service opportunity. Builds loyalty too, I bet.
Speaking of service, what about tech? Anything new helping shops be more efficient or offer new things?
Yes, actually. A pretty big development in the TPMS space, tire pressure monitoring systems. Schrader TPMS Solutions just launched something called AirCheck BLE. It uses Bluetooth low energy tech. It's essentially an app-based universal retrofit TPMS.
Retrofit TPMS. Okay, that sounds like a big deal for vehicles that didn't come with it from the factory. Are we talking mainly RVs, trailers, that kind of thing? Or is it broader? That's the sweet spot, exactly. Towable trailers, motorhomes, RVs, even off-road vehicles. It gives them OE quality performance. It supports Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, handles up to 4 axles, dual tire setups, even the spare. It really fills a market gap, offering both safety and, frankly, convenience. Kelly Sadler from Sensata Technologies mentioned it will revolutionize service organizations' ability to better serve customers. So yeah, big potential.
Got it. So action point for dealers. Look into offering retrofit TPMS, especially if you serve those RV and trailer markets. And staying up on TPMS service knowledge generally sounds crucial. What about the tools the actual wrenches mechanics are using day to day? Anything new there?
Oh yeah, Milwaukee Tool just brought out their M12 FUL subcompact impact wrenches. These are specifically designed for lighter duty work, think bumpers, fenders, some engine work, brake calipers, suspension components.
So specialized compact tools. What's the main benefit for a tech working in the Bay?
Getting into those tight spaces. They're really compact, 2.2 inches shorter than competitors in light. But they still pack a punch, up to 225 foot-pounds of nut-busting torque. And they have this 4-mode drive control system. Includes things like auto shut-off and bolt removal modes for more precision. So for you, the dealer, It's about investing in tools that boost efficiency and accessibility for your technicians. Faster service, better productivity, especially in those awkward, confined spots.
Okay, so we've covered some immediate wins in the service bay, but looking a bit further out, how are these newer vehicle technologies, EVs, hybrids, and this whole push for sustainability, how's that going to reshape things for tire dealers?
That's a really critical area to watch. Take just servicing hybrids and EVs. Even something seemingly simple like jump starting.
Yeah.
It isn't always simple anymore. If you use the wrong procedure, you can trigger a whole bunch of warning lights, error codes. It gets complicated fast.
Right, so it's not just hooking up cables positive to positive anymore. What's the key difference?
Definitely not. Technicians have to check the service manuals for the specific jump points. It varies. Some hybrids might need a connection to the positive terminal and a chassis ground. Newer vehicles, especially those with advanced battery management systems, they need very specific points to avoid bypassing current sensors. For dealers, the takeaway is clear. Ongoing technician training on hybrid and EV service procedures is absolutely essential, non-negotiable, really. And emphasizing reliance on service manuals, it's critical to avoid costly comebacks, not to mention liability issues.
That makes sense. And it raises a broader question, too. Beyond the service itself, how is technology changing the actual tire, making it smarter?
Yeah. That brings us to companies like Methomat. They just secured seed funding. Their whole vision is about transforming tires into, well, data-rich connected devices. Their tech integrates advanced sensors right inside the tire, capturing real-time data on things like tread depth, tire pressure, even how the rubber is interacting with the road surface.
So, like, giving the tire a sense of touch, that's what they're calling it. What kind of insights does that actually give you?
Exactly. Paul Fowler, the co-founder and CEO over there, used that exact phrase. He said, by digitizing the tire, the only part of a vehicle that touches the road, we give the vehicle a sense of touch. And all that data, it feeds into cloud-based analytics, which then provides actionable insights, particularly for fleet management, optimizing payload, routing, overall efficiency, and cutting down on fuel and tire costs. Think about it. Globally, there are something like 300 million commercial tires that are still, undigitized. And tire performance, it can impact up to 10% of a vehicle's carbon emissions.
Wow.
So while it's still early days, nascent, as they say, this trend towards smart tires and data-driven fleet management, it's definitely something every dealer needs to have on their radar for future service offerings.
It's fascinating, isn't it, how technology and sustainability are becoming so closely linked in this industry. But for a dealer on the ground, does this just add complexity, or is there mostly upside?
They really are intertwined, yeah. And look, while the long-term benefits for the planet, for efficiency, they're clear. There can definitely be upfront investments needed, training, maybe new partnerships.
Yeah.
But it also presents a huge opportunity for differentiation. We're seeing manufacturers really step up on sustainable practices and supply chain transparency.
Right. Can you give us some examples of companies doing that?
Sure. Apollo Tire's facility in Hungary, for instance, just achieved ISCC Plus certification. That stands for International Sustainability and Carbon Certification. It basically means much better transparency in their supply chain, responsible sourcing, production. It fits with their goal of using 40% sustainable raw materials by 2030. And they also got a gold rating from EcoVadis Sustainability Assessment. And similarly, Nexen Tire also received a gold rating from EcoVadis for the second year in a row, actually. That puts them in the top 3% of over 150,000 companies assessed globally. It reflects improvements they've made across environment, labor rights, ethics, sustainable procurement. Plus their participation in global initiatives like GPSNR, that's the Global Platform for Sustainable Natural Rubber, and others like the UN Global Compact and Science-Based Targets Initiative.
So for you as a dealer, understanding this isn't just about, corporate PR fluff. It's actually a valuable talking point for customers who genuinely care about where their products come from, right?
Exactly. John Bosco Kim, Nexen Tire CEO, explicitly mentioned their commitment to responsible and transparent management practices. And this focus on sustainability, on ethical practices, it can be a real differentiator when you're discussing different tire brands with customers, especially the environmentally conscious ones.
All right, let's shift gears a bit. Let's talk about tangible growth opportunities and maybe some bigger industry trends that could directly affect your business. How are companies thinking about, say, bringing in the next generation of drivers?
Yeah, there's a really smart campaign from Continental Tire on this. They launched My First Car, My First Tires. The whole idea is to educate new drivers about why tire choice is so important right from the start. and celebrating that kind of milestone, the first car experience.
That's a neat angle. How are they actually reaching these younger drivers? It's not just ads in magazines anymore, I assume.
Definitely not. They're using influencer partnerships pretty heavily. Channels like The Straight Pipes, Engineering Explained, Speed Academy, folks young drivers might actually watch. These influencers share stories, practical tire tips through videos, social media content makes it relatable. Plus, they're running a monthly contest, chance to win a new set of Continental tires. Brian Bayerwaltz, who heads up marketing for USPLT at Continental, said it's about bringing back those special memories while also helping first-time buyers make smart, informed decisions. So for dealers, the takeaway is, think about how you can engage new, young drivers effectively, educating them early on, maintenance, selection that builds loyalty for the long haul, and social media, relatable stories. Those are powerful tools.
That's definitely looking ahead. Now, let's pivot to a segment that seems like it's always evolving, agricultural tires.
Yeah.
What's new and important there for dealers serving the farming community? What should they be focused on?
Right, ag tires.
Yeah.
Yeah, agri-tech is moving fast. And one big trend is the growing adoption of radial tires, but specifically VF, very high flexion, and increased flexion technologies. These are all about minimizing soil compaction, which is huge for farmers, and letting them carry heavy loads at lower tire pressures. We're also seeing more central tire inflation systems, or CTIS, gaining traction.
Okay, so VF and IF, less pressure, heavier loads. What's the real-world benefit for the farmer? Why should they care?
Oh, it's significant. Less pressure means a bigger tire footprint on the ground. That means less soil compaction, which, down the line, can lead to better crop yields and better fuel efficiency for their equipment, too. Alliance Tire, for example, showed how their VF tech lets tires carry the same load as a standard radial, but at 40% lower inflation pressure.
40% lower. Wow.
Yeah. And Midas introduced something called PFO technology. Precise farming optimization in their HC2000 VF tires allows even heavier loads at those same low pressures, especially beneficial at low working speeds like 5-15 kilometers per hour. Again, bigger footprint, less compaction. Farmers care about traction, minimizing compaction, roadability, comfort, and, of course, reliability.
Right.
So as a dealer, you need to be more than just a seller. Be an expert partner, offer guidance. Which tire for which equipment? Which soil type? What kind of workload? Emphasize those long-term benefits of VFE. And mobile, on-farm service, that's huge, especially before planting and harvest. Regular checks are key.
Okay, let's unpack this a bit. Thinking about direct investments in the shop itself, are there specific opportunities right now for dealers looking to upgrade their equipment?
That's a really timely question. And yes, there are. Hunter Engineering, for example, is running a summer finance promotion right now through August 15th. And the terms are pretty attractive. We're talking 0% interest for 12 months, 3.9% for 24 months, and discounted rates for longer terms too, like 36, 48, 60 months.
0% for a year. That sounds like a serious incentive for shops wanting to modernize or expand. What kind of equipment does that cover?
It covers their whole product line, basically, including their advanced stuff like the Maverick Pro Tire Changer or the Hawkeye Elite Expandable Alignment System. That one integrates with their ADS Link scan tool, which is crucial for advanced driver assistance systems calibrations. There is a $15,000 minimum order, but they're also offering a 5% discount on demo and training center equipment. Larry Watson, Hunter's VP of Sales, basically said they want customers to lock in favorable terms and streamline their businesses. So yeah, a good time to evaluate equipment needs.
Definitely something to look into. What about lifts? Anything new there, especially with bigger vehicles being so common?
Yes, good point. Benpack just launched a new lift, the HD90WTM. It's a 4-post lift specifically designed for wide-body vehicles.
That makes a lot of sense. Trucks, SUVs, vehicles with aftermarket wheels, they can get pretty wide. What makes this lift better suited for them?
It's got extended height and a wider footprint, so it can accommodate those larger trucks, SUVs, vehicles with wide fenders, or big aftermarket tires. It has multi-level locking positions for safety, an electric hydraulic power system, and it's ALI certified. Jeff Kritzer, the president and CEO at Benpack, pointed out the design really focuses on operator safety and comfort. That extra width helps prevent damage to vehicle doors and mirrors, and the greater rise helps with taller vehicles and gives technicians more room to work.
Gotcha.
So if your shop handles a lot of these bigger vehicles, investing in a lift designed for them improves safety, comfort, efficiency, and reduces the risk of accidentally damaging a customer's vehicle.
Okay, so beyond the direct sales, the big equipment investments, There's always stuff happening in the broader automotive world that kind of ripples out, right? What's a trend in, say, tire performance that dealers really need to be educating customers about right now?
Yeah, a big one is the evolution of UHP tires, ultra-high performance. They aren't just for sports cars or track days anymore. A lot of everyday vehicles, even some EVs, actually come equipped with UHP tires right from the factory. And the problem is, many customers don't even realize they have them.
That's interesting. I wouldn't necessarily think my family SUV has performance tires. So how do dealers start that conversation, break through that assumption?
That's the key challenge. Nate Dodds from General Tire really stressed how crucial the dealer's role is here, educating customers about their W or Y-rated tires. You need to explain the differences, UHP summer versus UHP all season, things like tread depth, sidewall stiffness, the performance trade-offs you make, and address those misconceptions, like who UHP tires are actually for and how they fit or don't fit with EV sometimes. The main action item: train your sales team. Get them proactively educating customers about the UHP tires already on their cars. Talk about characteristics, maintenance needs storage for summer tires, alignment, keeping the pressure right. It builds satisfaction, trust, and hopefully repeat business.
Makes sense. What else stands out from the wider industry? Any notable people moves, policy updates, maybe even some good news on the philanthropy front?
Absolutely, yeah. On the people side, it's really great to see Dan Van Heuvel, the Flying Dutchman, nominated for the Off-Road Motorsports Hall of Fame. That's recognition for a nearly 5-decade career. Over 20 Pro Class wins, 5 Crandon World Championships. Plus, he co-founded the Air More Association, mentored young racers. Cannon Tires is supporting his continued involvement, which is nice to see. And we also saw some key appointments. Courtney Posner is the new Distribution Sales Manager at Associated Equipment Corporation, and Chuck Pullins got promoted to Controller at Leighton's Aftermarket NA.
Good to hear about that kind of recognition and growth. What about policies? Anything dealers need to be aware of coming down the pike?
Well, the Tire Industry Association, TIA, just put out its 2025 legislative position papers. This is how they advocate for the industry's interests in Washington, D.C. It's important stuff. And related to that, voting is currently open for the 2025-2026 TIA Board of Directors.
Okay.
So for dealers, staying plugged into associations like TIA is really how you stay informed about potential legislative impacts on your business.
And any good news stories? Companies giving back?
Definitely. Straightaway Tire and Auto launched something called the Straightaway Assistance Fund for Employees Safe. It offers financial help up to $5,000 for employees facing hardships. And they have a 2-to-1 matching program, which is pretty generous. Also, Apollo Tires honored 8 women entrepreneurs through their Project Nadia initiative. That program focuses on empowering rural women, and they say it's already helped uplift over 24,000 women.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Yeah, it's good to see companies investing in their people and their communities. It reflects well in the whole industry, I think.
Definitely. Okay, switching gears one last time, maybe. Back to cutting-edge tech. Diagnostics. What's new there that's relevant for this service bay?
A pretty significant development from Autel. They recently got approval for diagnostic access to the Mercedes-Benz Security Gateway. What that means is aftermarket diagnostic tablets, Autels, specifically, can now perform critical services on certain 2021 and newer Mercedes models that were previously locked down.
Okay, that is a big deal. Unlocking access to restricted systems. What can shops actually do now on those newer Mercs?
Well, if they're using Autel tools and are certified through AutoUth, they can perform diagnostics, run active tests, and crucially, do ADS calibrations on these systems. Mercedes-Benz now joins Nissan and Stellantis in allowing Autel access via AutoUth, and they already had VW Audi Group access too. So again, the message for dealers is clear. Investing in advanced diagnostic tools and the training to use them is absolutely paramount for servicing modern complex vehicles. And kind of related to that complexity, understanding how modern all-wheel drive systems work is getting more important. Many of them rely heavily on the brake system, ABS, traction control, stability control to actually manage torque. They pulse the brakes selectively to mimic limited slip differentials, but without all the heavy mechanical parts.
So wait, the brake system health is actually critical for the AWD system to work properly, not just for stopping. That's not intuitive.
Exactly. It's a key insight many drivers probably miss. Proper AWD and ABS function depends heavily on brake system health. You need accurate wheel speed sensors, calipers that operate smoothly, high-friction brake pads. It all has to work together. So when you're talking to customers about brakes, maybe emphasize that point. Brake health is crucial for overall vehicle performance and control, not just for stopping in an emergency.
Wow. Okay, that really was a packed deep dive. We covered a lot of ground from Tire Review's July insights, from saving drivers billions, literally, with proper inflation,
Right.
all the way to smart tires, sustainability shifts, and the nitty-gritty of servicing these incredibly complex modern vehicles.
Yeah, I think if there's one core takeaway, it's that the automotive aftermarket is evolving fast, really fast. And with that evolution comes real opportunities in boosting efficiency, adopting new tech, engaging customers proactively. Staying informed isn't just about keeping up anymore. It's really about getting ahead of the curve.
Absolutely. Remember, knowledge is power. Knowing these insights helps you adapt, innovate, and ultimately thrive. So the question for you is, what will you do with this information? How will you use it to help your customers and grow your business?
And as we think about all these advancements, it does raise kind of a bigger question for the future, doesn't it? How will this increasing interconnectedness of vehicle systems, everything from the tires right up to the diagnostic gateways, how will that reshape the traditional roles within the automotive service industry over, say, the next 5 years? And what new opportunities might spin out of that evolution?
Something to think about. Keep learning, keep exploring, and we'll see you next time for another deep dive.